Well, we've got some gnarly conditions today. We've got about 15 knots true wind from the northeast, and it is driving some big waves out on the lake. We've got a couple of big ships that have just anchored out here to wait it out, I think. Certainly they could power through this, I would think, but I don't have any other explanation of why they're here. You never see a couple of ships out here, and right now there's two of them anchored out. Maybe the conditions are way worse further north. I would guess 5 foot, occasionally 8. If you go down into some deep troughs, and you can kind of swallows up the boat sometimes. Never get the true story on film, unfortunately. It just never looks the same. So it's a Wednesday. I came out after work, got here about 5, and not gonna be able to sail too long because it's dark by 7. But thought I'd get a little bit of a sail. A lot of wind, 21 knots apparent at the moment. And we're just getting out here to see what the conditions are like. I'm going to take over for the autopilot though. The autopilot's doing great, don't get me wrong, but I like to try to steer kind of through the waves a little bit, more so than the autopilot does. Kind of slide down the backside and not hit it too hard going up. It's not raining, but it is in the 50 degrees, I would say. And again, a lot of wind and some kind of rough seas. So I had the mainsail ready to put up, but decided once I got out here a little bit, probably didn't need it. And so I'm flying just a single reef in the jib. Again, 20 knots apparent pretty routinely, and some big waves. I'll have a little bit more later. Well, we are still making our way east in really nasty waves and wind. Really wish you could get a sense of depth from these waves, but if you just watch the bow of the boat and how it moves, that gives you at least a little bit of an idea. Here we got a big wave coming up, and then we drop way down into the trough. The Tally Ho's handling it okay for the conditions. You know, there's a small craft advisories out here, and there's not another soul on the lake other than those big boats that are tied up and not going anywhere. So call me crazy. My buddy asked me if this was fun, and I said, well, it's good practice. You know, if you only sail in really nice conditions, you'll never be a really good sailor. So I like to come out in all kinds of stuff, as long as it's not too dangerous. I have put on my life jacket though, just to be safe, a winter hat because it's cold out here, and some gloves on my hands. And just kind of picking our way east through the waves, and then we'll 6 o'clock. Turn around and make a run back for home, try to get home before dark. I'm not afraid to sail in the dark, but Kathy gets a little nervous if I'm out in the dark, especially in conditions like this. So, yeah, it's a good sail. It's a technical sail. Can't spend much time away from the helm on a day like today. Although my autopilot has held me great for grabbing my life jacket and the camera and a beer. So no complaints about the autopilot today, that's for sure. All right, I'm gonna hang up for now, and if I find something else cool to show you or the conditions change, I'll try to let you know. I doubt you can see that guy, but there's a big oar boat or steel boat or something to the Gary Harbor. He and I were playing chicken for a little bit, but I wisely got out of his way, turned around, and I am now making my way back towards the marina after a tumultuous 5-mile sail in this rough conditions. I was just listening to the Coast Guard weather alert, and they are calling for 8 to 10 foot waves. And since I am at the very end of the lake, I am getting all of it, I would say. Again, you can't really tell from the video, but they're big. They're not crashing, and they're spaced apart a little bit, so makes it a whole lot easier for me to navigate, and actually kind of makes it a little fun to sail in them. But there are some big ones out there. So I'm hoping to be back around 7 or a little before, maybe. Keeping an eye on the sun. It's cloudy up there, blocking out a lot of the sun, but anyway, we're doing fine, and Tally-Ho's rocking and rolling in the waves. Experience, but hopefully we can get it. There's no boats next to us right now in the slip, so worst case scenario, we get blown sideways or into the neighboring slip there, but there's nobody there. So with any luck at all, the wind will die down a little bit right as I come home. So we're still seeing big waves, though. I know you can't really tell, but they're quite large swells. They're not breaking at all, really. But if you could see from the bottom of the trough to the top of the wave, you know, I'd say we definitely got 8-footers, sometimes 10. I'm not sure I'm gonna make it back before dark. That sun is really close to the horizon over there. My ETA is 7:02. I just don't know if the sun will stay up that long. It's been going down earlier and earlier every night. Dark when I get up to go to work. Now it's dark before I get done sailing on Wednesday night sails, so that's a bummer. But we shall be back in soon, safe and sound. So put the camera down till we get maybe back into the dock. I'm just testing the resolution here on a higher setting, I think. While I was messing around with the camera, the sun went behind the horizon there. So now things will probably get cool and dark. I'm gonna run down and probably turn on my nav lights here, but we're close to the marina. There's no traffic out really whatsoever, but anyway, it was really just kind of testing out this higher resolution to see what that looks like. I don't know if you can see that guy out there or not. Ship with its lights on, sitting for the night. Again, I think they're just hanging out because of the bad weather tonight or something, I don't know. Sail flag is flying. Seaweed back there hanging off my rudder. Ominous. Not getting any rain, thankfully, but it's looking ominous. Good thing is we're going to sail right up close to the marina entrance here before we fire up the motor. We don't have to round up into the wind because all we got is the jib out. Unfortunately, I normally would stand back here to take a pee, but I'm a little afraid to stand back here in these waves, so I'm holding it. We'll get in soon though. Anyway, we're making our way, and it's only 6:45 or so. Yeah, about 12 minutes to 7, and it's already, the sun is down. So didn't quite make it in before dark, although it's not quite dark yet, so it'll be close. We've got our lights on all of our equipment so we can read our gauges. I was looking at my top speed here a minute ago on the chart plotter, and it said 8.1 knots. I'm sure that was coasting down a wave, but I accidentally hit the reset all button before I took a picture of it. Well, that's too bad. So if you don't have a picture of it, did it really happen? I'm sure I was surfing down a wave to get 8.1. 7.72 is about maximum hull speed for my boat. So anyway, we are almost in. We're going to be firing up the engine here in a few minutes, rolling up the sail and trying to get her in the dock, so in the slip. It'd be great if it would be a easterly wind, because that's kind of like right off the bow of my boat. I'm afraid it's going to be more northerly, and that's going to push us off our finger pair, but oh well, we'll do the best we can. No help out there tonight. Nobody's out here tonight or at the dock, so it'll be all me. I probably won't be able to film anything. Well, we are making our way back into the marina now, and luckily it looks like the wind's going to be a little bit northeast, so that shouldn't be too bad for me to get into my slip. It's down. Still blowing 13 knots, but if it is blowing kind of north or east-northeast, that's good. It'll push me round me up into my slip and slow me down, actually. So I don't think that's a problem. So I'm gonna have to put the camera down though to dock, I think. We want to try to do this with one hand. So anyway, we're in, made it just a little over 10 miles, and it was a challenging sail. Tally-ho did great, skipper did okay, and we'll be in shortly and put the boat to bed.